I love this shirt.
It's a throwback.
Oh, yeah.
Strategic.
Hey, yo. Why you did
It's not even I have anything bad. It's like, what was I doing?
We're just talking about how our. Yo, Victor! Mama?
Hey, yo! Victor! Victor!
I'm stealing this chair. I'm gonna push it. It's very, very heavy. I'm not strong.
Okay.
It's not about you.
Wait, isn't that the guy that called you?
Yeah.
This is the guy?
Yeah, that's the guy. Actually, that guy got a concussion.
Hey,
That's my friend.
I am losing my voice.
I don't know who he is.
So this is about as loud as I can talk today, guys. And so if other people are talking, that means that people aren't hearing. And I don't want that to be the case. I want this to be beneficial for everybody. So what I have in front of me is the finished final. It is 50 questions. I'm going to give you 55 minutes. Raise your hand if you're in third hour. Third hour, I owe you an apology because we forgot to talk about the one-pager. You are eligible to do a one-pager, Sana, third hour. You need to get in here because you're part of this. For the exam. Now, the guidelines for the one-pager are on Canvas under review materials. You will have 55 minutes for the test. I'm incorporating 5 minutes for the one-pager review. It is not mandatory. You do not have to do it. Does someone have an example of a one-pager they have completed with them right now?
At the start. Was that cow? As you can tell, it's very organized.
Here's one. This isn't Rashab's, this is Sebastian's, and this is really solid. So we've got visuals. I see how it's organized by topic. I see how it kind of flows. You know what this doesn't look like is a note that the Unabomber left after a crime scene, where it's like every word I know stuffed on a piece of paper. This is what you should strive for, all right? And it's very good. Thank you very much. Okay, so anyway, raise your hand if you're in third hour. Third hour, did you hear me?
Yeah.
Spread the word to other third hours. I'll put it out in my announcement when I post this video later. Okay, so for the interest of time, I'm going to dive into the test. I'm going to tell you question topics, maybe a couple specifics as I go through. Demographic transition model. And who would be in each stage? Specific groups and regions. Where would you find this group or that group in a stage? Similar to the DTM, demographic trends. Where is population going up? Where is population going down? Map distortion. How does it happen? Longitude and latitude. There is nothing like the first test where I ask you about specific coordinates, but latitude and longitude. Which one do we call parallels? All right, thematic maps. What are they, and what are different types of thematic maps? So I'll give you this. I'm giving you a test question. I'm going to say a thematic map, and then I'm going to give a description of the following 5 things. Dot maps, chloropleth maps, proportional symbol maps, isoline maps, and cartograms. And I'm going to then give the definition of that thing, whichever one it is. So you need to be able to map that, match that map to that thing. Does that make sense? I need to repeat that?
Yeah.
Dot maps, chloropleth maps, proportional symbol maps, isoline maps, cartograms. Okay, hearths of religion. Global hearths of religion. Migration. What causes migration? Where are migrants coming from? Why are they going where they're going? If I give you some languages, what would they have in common, specific to the part of the tree? Hey, Andy.
Essentially, like how you're gonna give us questions on like language branches. Are there going to be questions on like types of migrants?
Yes.
So, like, would you give us 2 languages and ask, like, are they in the same language family or like same language branch?
Thanks for
Did I just guess at this question? He's gonna like give us 2 languages and ask us, are they in the same language group, same language branch, or whatever.
Very well known spoken language. Here's another test question. Where would you find the Amish? Where would you find the Amish?
It's a faster question.
We're some Amish families.
No, they were like sitting on like furniture. No, in Lithuania.
Okay.
I don't really
The southern part of the Baltic.
That's not mine.
Population densities. We've got agricultural density. We've got arithmetic density. We've got physiological density. Agricultural density, arithmetic density, physiological density, and then we've got the reasons why certain places would have higher or lower. So like, if I talk about Las Vegas, that would have different density factors than, say, Kansas City, all right? And being able to apply those with real-world examples. Okay, migration streams, languages, and how we could compare languages based off of their diffusion from origin, which means how they've branched out over time. Environmental determinism, you need to know the definition. Cultural landscape, you need to know the definition. DTM and population pyramids. What stage?
Oh, that's like stage
1,
No.
2, 3, 4, 5.
All right, good. And then what the groups make up all those things? Hearths of religion, Shia versus Sunni Muslims. Migration, intra-regional migration. What intra-regional migration patterns have we seen?
Urban to rural.
My God, I couldn't tell if that was a joke.
It's intra-regional. It's like within a state. So it's like
Son.
Ethnic religion versus monotheistic religion versus polytheistic religions. I'll give you this test question. Linguistic fragmentation. Where in the world is it especially severe?
Especially what?
Severe. Projection, DTM,
ETN?
DTM. Acculturation, how many generations?
3.
Here's a test question. Hearths of religion, you're hearing some things repeated a couple times for sure. Demographic momentum. What does it mean? I still feel like some of you are very much struggling with that idea. Demographic momentum. What does it mean? Religious distribution of Protestantism in the United States. Avon, did you have a question?
You partially answered it, but like, would it be wise to cram in like where denominations of certain religions are located?
So far, I think I've given you all you need to know about that.
do we need to know much about the ETM?
What?
Do we need to know much about the ETM? Or just
ETM?
ETM.
No, I've not seen a lot of it on this test. I'm not saying that you don't not need to know, but I'm being very forthcoming about what I'm seeing on the test, by and large. I haven't really skipped a ton of questions. Population density based off of scale. Alright, here's a test question. You gotta know this with a stimulus. What is the difference between GPS, GIS, remote sensing, satellite navigation systems, and aerial photography interpretation?
What was the last one?
Aerial photography interpretation. I need to repeat those. GPS, GIS, remote sensing, satellite navigation systems, aerial photography interpretation. GPS, GIS, remote sensing, satellite navigation systems, aerial photography interpretation. Demographics, scale, cultural traits, syncretism, syncretism,
The combination of regions.
How do you spell that?
Sai, you're not fast.
diffusion types, Legacies of colonization in lingua franca.
Colonization.
Religious distribution in Africa. Religious distribution in Africa. Regions. The Syrian refugee crisis and resulting migration flows. That's the test.
Repeat that last one.
Questions?
What's the last name?
Hey, Ethan.
This kid is so big.
The Syrian refugee crisis and resultant migration stream.
Migration strips? What? Wait, Mr. McDonald, can you repeat that last part again? Like after the rice?
The resultant migration stream.
Ethan, should I send you my
Stream.
Streamer frame. Rings?
Hey, I don't know how to say it.
You gotta shut it down, Tom. Shut it down.
Y'all, can I get your attention, please? Thank you. Mr. McDonald, do you think you could define post-Celtic religions, please?
Proselytizing religion. Yes, they are. That's a synonym for universalizing religion. To proselytize means that I feel a compulsion to share my religion with you in an effort to convert you.
Okay.
That's a-
Would that be
That's what proselytize means.
Follow-up question, would that be similar to like universalizing them?
Very much so. Ethan, this will all be on YouTube. This will all be on All right, last test for you.
Don't miss the clap.
You guys all got this. 3,
We should just all do it off beat.
If everyone's got it.
I don't think this works.
Be quiet! Guys, you want a test question or not?
what? Did you
All
repeat
right.
that?
I sure saw
Here's
this
the question.
Oh,
That was
it's
scary,
over. I
guys.
thought it was
In the early 21st century, the largest number of refugees are located on which of the following continents?
The 21st. And the
And
answer.
I'll give you a clue.
Can you repeat the question?
How do, no. How do migrants, not migrants, how do refugees primarily travel?
They walk.
Plug what?
They travel for legs.
Now, hypothetically, if it was to vegetarian, they would put good like someplace you're going for fashion. But since I was
Ashley.